Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
A lot of stuff going on, as usual,
Yes.
as usual, as usual. Lot. I'm to a point and stuff now, Tia, that I am, man, I'm tired. So Daddy Diaper got to be tired. Man, he got so much stuff going on, so much crap that
Well,
I
I
don't
want to say
believe.
this. Let me say
Huh?
this right quick. You know, Jasmine Crockett, they put out a text saying that, and I saw the text, and I saw, and then they put out verbiage because she said it. She said that, what is $5,000 going to do for you? That's all they left. But what she actually said is, what is $5,000 going to do for you if you done lost your job?
Mm-hmm.
So they just put that out there, right? And so everybody's coming at her. She went on TikTok and told the people they didn't put out all what I said. This is what they do. They don't put out the full story. Because if you done lost your job, what is $5,000 going to do for you? But pay your car note and pay your house note.
And that's
maybe
it.
A couple other bills.
For 1 month.
Yeah, for 1 month.
That's it. 1 month.
Then another thing too, just to let people know, people probably already know if you Joy Reid's fan, they canceled her show. I'm a big Joy Reid fan. She's the only person I listen to on MSNBC. I might listen to The Weeknd for a little bit, but
when she's off the air, they canceled it right now, or is she
I
gonna
don't know. But that's what they're saying. We'll see Monday. I mean, they're gonna give her the respect of letting her say goodbye to her audience. But she was hard, man. I'm gonna tell you, that last episode that she put out on Thursday, woo, she went on them, bro. She went in on them. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I'm just thinking, man. I'm just thinking. My mind is trying to absorb what you said and to realize and stuff what the heck is happening and stuff out there, and how these major news cycle folks and everything are, you know, kind of wondering stuff that maybe she might be the sacrificial lamb instead of getting rid of Rachel. I don't know.
Or Joe.
Or Joe. Or more than Joe. Yeah, she could be the sacrificial lamb. And since Trump has already put out the word that he don't like MSNBC, so I guess they said, well, we can't get rid of them right away and stuff because the people think that we done gave in, but we got to put somebody on the altar to sacrifice. So they sacrificing her. She's part of the sacrifice.
Well, they're gonna get a big hit. They're gonna get a big hit.
Well, yeah, and they are expecting. They probably expecting that big hit. They probably are expecting it, but they figured that since Rachel's back on now for those 100 days of his presidency and everything, maybe by the time her 100 days is over with, they been and forgot about her. But I believe girlfriend gonna be like a cat, laying right on her feet. She's probably got enough money laid aside and everything where she can weather the storm for a little bit, start her own stuff, bring her own folks with her, or join somebody else's show. Bring her folks with her. Change is coming, Ted. We're gonna have to change and stuff. This man has forced a drastic change and stuff in our lives and stuff and everything. So these things and stuff happen. I wish Joy the best because I'm pretty sure if they said it and stuff, it's probably gonna be true and everything. They probably already told her that they're not gonna renew her contract, so they probably she'll probably go out in the blaze of glory. A blaze of glory. And somebody gonna pick her up. And Ted, if I'm wildly, I'm gonna throw out a wild thing. If I am some of them people on MSNBC who've been sitting around there, rousing around and woo and feeling scared about their job that they might be the next one of them ought to realize that we can't keep putting up with this mess with these billionaires and stuff telling us what the hell to do. Let's start our own network. Some of them got enough money where they can start their own damn network and start bringing in all the folks that been following them and stuff all these many years, going to follow them right to their own daggone network.
Well, you see that guy from CNN, he quit.
Right. Oh, Joe Acosta, yeah. But he went to he's doing some guest appearances, I guess, on Midas Touch. But Midas doesn't have his own network. He's I don't think he has enough money to pay a cost and everything for it and anything. But if you're starting your own network and everything, that means that you're going to get your own advertising and all the other stuff and everything, and they start a whole new daggone network and everything that's going to bring in your money to pay your people. And at first, they're going to have to struggle through what's going on, but that's what I would do. And I know Rachel got enough money where she can probably do it. She got enough money to do it. And I'll be looking forward to it because if they started it, it'll be on there. And if they charge and stuff, I pay. I pay subscription fee to watch them. I would. I'll pay a subscription fee to watch them. And I bet you they will compete with a lot of them people out there on CNN and all of that because people are going to come and look at them. So, to you folks on MSNBC, think about that. Pool y'all money together, create your own network. It will come. I'll give my money. I'll pay a subscription fee. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I'm gonna bring something up.
And Ted, I think that was a good thing for her. At least that forces her out there and stuff and everything to do her own stuff. Because I know that they were holding her back. I know they were. they were holding Joy back. Joy has a lot more hard hitting stuff than what she had been putting on. She got some stuff out there, and she got people and stuff who will be guest hosts on her show, who will come. Important people, big time folks will come on her show.
Oh yeah, they respect her highly. She's very intelligent,
Absolutely,
very astute, very informative.
very
She
so.
know her history. She
Yep.
knows Black history. She knows the culture. She knows everything about the international stuff. She knows all of that. She's an
I
author of what 2, 3 books.
yep.
So she's into.
I I remember when she first got out there, and she worked for, I forgot what administration she was working for, and then she started doing some hard hitting stuff at the Griot. I mean, she was doing her thing on the Griot, and then MSNBC brought her on for the little guest appearances and everything, and then Rachel Maddow was instrumental in stuff and getting her own show there on MSNBC. Those two are like two peas in a pod, so that's why I think old Rachel has probably got something set up for them, and that might be a good thing for her. Get the hell off of NBC and start your own stuff. Damn Trump. And somebody out there who got a couple of $1,000,000, $100 to $200 million and stuff, that might be a good bet for you all and everything to start your own network out there, and you sponsor that daggone thing and start getting advertised and start your own stuff. You can make a lot of money. I'm telling you, they're gonna bring in a lot of money to you, and I believe a couple of other ones are gonna leave MSNBC. That's including Chris Hayes, the old boy and stuff, the attorney and stuff that bees on at 6 o'clock. All of them might decide to come, and if they do, MSNBC is dead anyway. It ain't gonna matter about Morning Joe no more. They dead.
Yeah, I started watching Morning Joe.
Well, a lot of folks start watching after the election, but they starting to slowly come back. Oh man, good luck, Joey. You need to leave them sound guns anyway. They just made your mind up for you.
Well,
Sometimes,
she probably knew it was coming anyway.
yeah, she knew, and sometimes the Lord and stuff does things to you and stuff, forces you. You don't want to go, and you sit down there procrastinate. Well, I may, and then he just say, hell, you need to get the hell out of there. So he just said, make them people fire you, so you can get the hell out of there and do something else, do something better. Let's put something better on. And I know she got some ideas, man, because she got some. Ooh, man, she got some ideas.
Well, let me put it like this. Let's change the subject.
Go ahead.
Okay, now, I know people might say, well, what the hell are you talking about this, Ted? Because here we are, supposed to be the greatest country in the world. We make 3% of the appraisal in this country. Everything else is made overseas. 3%. However, because we get stuff shipped in, and you have over 30,000 designers, so they make their little pieces, and then they go ahead on and contract with Indonesia, Vietnam, China, whatever, and then they send these buy the pieces, make them up, and send them over, sell them over here. It's a $2 trillion business worldwide, globally. Now, 3% is what we do. The reason why is only 3% that's made here is because of labor. That's the only reason. Labor, cheap labor over there to make those pieces. We have another textile industry, and I want to zoom on one company, Milliken. You heard of Milliken, Ed? Man, I know you heard of Milliken, man, because that's one of the biggest number one textile companies here in America. However, they do business and have hundreds of textile businesses all over the world. They're in over 40 countries. They are probably one of the biggest ones in the United States. There are more than 70 locations globally. However, their main headquarters is in North Carolina, but they're in Georgia, South Carolina, California, Texas, Virginia. They only do pretty close to about $4 billion worth of business. But they got about they got a bunch of products, but they specialize in about 5, but they got about 19 different products. Well, I would say, they got more than that, but they got about 19 patents. But the thing is that most of their stuff is made overseas. What they do is they have showrooms, and then these people, all they have basically is, because they only got about 8,000 employees, and then they just farm out these textile people. They don't even classify them as workers, because you can't have 70 different locations and only have 8,000 employees. So obviously they're not really working for Milliken. They're working for some other company, and they're making their textiles. They're making their rugs, they're making their curtains, they're making their this and that. The thing is that there's a number of them, but you got a bunch of these companies doing the same thing. They're all over Bangladesh, Vietnam, China. And then we wonder why we don't make nothing. And the reason why we don't make nothing is because these companies don't want to pay the $20, $25 an hour, because that would raise the price up, because these people got to make their money too. These big time executives, they got to pay the salespeople that sell these carpets or these apparel. So, and they give them a big time commission. So salespersons is the one that's making the money, and these administrators and CEOs. But the employment is weak. Now, the thing is that the total industry in America for textile is about 500,000 people. But I was looking at the big map. So I found a map that shows all the manufacturing that's going on in each state. Florida is 49th in manufacturing. They only got couple of 100,000 people that's working in manufacturing here in Florida. The money that is made from that manufacturing is not that much. When I say not that much, compared to their GDP, it's not that much. Because Florida is right around 2 trillion, over 2 trillion. And the thing is that if you go down and you look at Georgia, you look at West Virginia, you look at North Dakota, South Dakota, and if I'm not mistaken, the biggest manufacturer, the number one manufacturer, I think is in Iowa or Ohio, one of the two. The thing is that this country's manufacturing is only 10% or less as far as total revenue that we're bringing in. Now, is this a coincidence? Is this planned that certain corporations and companies are, it seems like this is a ongoing thing. 10% revenue in manufacturing, 10% revenue in appraisal, 10% in textile. All of these different sectors are doing about 10%. And as far as it provides employment. And a lot of times these companies hire people overseas or undocumented, which don't show it on the books. So the game is, and the thing is, Milliken is not even on the stock market. It's privately owned, which is kind of weird, I think. And if you really dig in some of these other companies that's here in America, because we don't know really how much money they're making. Now, they claim that their revenue is almost $4 billion. But that's a $1.8 trillion industry globally. Just like appraisal. Appraisal is about $2 trillion globally. So when you look at these different sectors, like textile, apparel, and autos and all of that, we depend on these worldwide global industries that America has built for these third world countries and built them up instead of building up America. They have decided that our workforce is going to be right at 160 million people. You're going to have 100 million people going to school, and then you're going to have the rest retired or disabled. Retired or disabled. So that's the game plan, and that's what it's been doing. But here's the shocker of the world now. Here's the shocker. What is going to happen? This is what the fight is about. What is going to happen if 5 million people are out of a job? Because right now they're talking about getting rid of at least 500,000 workers for the government. Then, not on top of that, you're talking about getting rid of local and state employees. Because it's going to be less money being fed to these states. So that's another 500,000. So that's 1 million people that's going to be out of a job by the end of this year. That's my prediction. And we don't make nothing, so therefore, and those 1 million people not going to be buying nothing because they generate revenue. They spend money because they got a job. They had a job. My question is, what are we going to do as a nation?
We're going to make it.
Yeah, we'll make it as a whole, as a nation, to a certain degree, but right now they're putting our country in jeopardy, not only for people losing their jobs, but then also, when we get a hit like that, we're talking 1 million plus people, when we get a hit like that, what happens is that things happen. So we'll see. We'll always make it. Now, will it get better? I don't know. You got your AI. So that's the new thing right now, AI. So that's the new thing. So if they're going to generate and make people say, okay, well, I'm going to learn this AI and get a job, as an AI agent or something like that, a lot of people, they have the intellect to do that, and then a lot of people are lawyers and all of that, engineers, and they can go on and get other jobs. However, you got your everyday college graduate who's used to doing administrative work, doing reports, calling people, talking to people, those jobs might be scarce. So they might be on unemployment for a year before they find something. So all of these things are a factor that's going to hurt the overall American people. A lot of us sort of kind of like those of us that's retired or whatever, and but because I used to work in banking, we always had to keep up with that kind of stuff because we had to know what kind of clients to call and contact and what have you, and to do mortgages and contact people, for wealth management. So the thing is that my thinking is start your own business. Ed, you just said it. Start your own business.
Okay, you starting to answer your question. Go ahead.
Start your own business. That's what I say.
You starting to answer your question. That's what's getting ready to happen.
Get you a group of people, and whatever you do well in and what you can do well in, start your own business.
Absolutely.
Don't depend on these people because
that's where your job's at. That's where your jobs are going to. Create your own stuff. That's where the job's at. Technology, high tech. Create your own stuff. 3 to 4 million, between 3 to 10 million jobs are out there available in high tech right now. And it's waiting on, but people we don't have a workforce. The workforce is not there. They're there. The workforce is not there. Most people, and we can see that's going on and stuff now. There's let me see, 5 or 6 car plants and most here in the Southeast. 3 in Mississippi. I think there's 2 in Alabama and 3 or 4 here in Georgia. And they have jobs waiting on them. There's jobs waiting on them. They're ready to hire you. You walk up in there, they're ready to hire you. But guess what? You can't pass drug tests.
Uh-oh.
You can't pass drug tests. Most of our folks can't pass a drug test. You can't pass a drug test. They don't want nobody up in there high. You can't pass the drug test. You get up in there, first thing they do, they test you for drugs. And they keep testing them off and on. They're random testing for drugs because these are high-tech jobs. They want people in there who are aware. If they can't pass the drug test, they're going to lose their job. They got a Toyota plant right outside of Tupelo, Mississippi right now. And they're looking for at least 1,000 people, more people to work in that plant, and they can't find them. Most of the folks come up in there, they can't pass the drug test. They got a Nissan plant down there in Jackson, Mississippi. They got enough to hire another almost 1,000 people. They can't do it. Can't pass the drug test.
Is that really the problem?
Yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. They can't pass the drug test down here. And most of them uneducated. They didn't have any high school diploma.
Mm.
Those plants down here from Michigan up there and everything down here because they have a right to work law down here. People have right to work. They don't want no unions. And they successfully, all of them have successfully beat them unions down. Nissan had one heck of a problem down there in Jackson, Mississippi. Them people fought like heck to get in, to become a part of the United Auto Workers. Them people beat that stuff down. They almost won, but they beat them down. They don't want them unions and stuff down there to tell them that they got to keep them folks and stuff who can't pass the drug test. And also to keep the wages and stuff down too. And the benefits. They still pay good. That's what's going on most of the way around here. These folks they are not. Our population and stuff there is is headed to the bottom because they're not educating our kids. They're not smart enough to handle these jobs, these high tech jobs that are coming. That old boy who Trump tried to put in there along with Elon Musk told them white folks the truth, and they got mad at him, and Trump threw him out of there. That's why he threw him out, because he told the truth. Your children, you are not educating your children, so they can't handle these jobs. That's why they're bringing people from India. That's why they can come over here from India and get these jobs. The people can't handle them. They're not educated. This is sad. It's sad. Now the Toyota plant that I tell you about, I got two cousins and stuff. Well, three of them who worked in that Toyota plant, and I just talked to them right before Thanksgiving, and I said, "So, don't y'all have it? They got jobs there. They've been working there for 3 years, and they said they just can't. If the people come in, they can't pass the drug test. Got plenty of job. You can't pass the drug test, so they only got 2 shifts.
They want 3 shifts.
They went 3 shifts. They can't even bring on a third shift.
Mm.
The place is huge. You drive by, you go by. I've drove by there at least 3 or 4 times. The place is huge, huge. Ain't got enough people. Our population here has become uneducated, and it's getting worse. It's not getting better, and they are not prepared for these jobs that are coming here nowadays. That's why most of these folks done ran their manufacturing over there into their menial jobs like textile. They have menial stuff. They just run them over there into these other folks because they can pay them a cheaper wage than they can over here. So I don't blame them for doing that. So they still got jobs and stuff here. If you can handle it, if you are smart enough that you can go in there, fill out applications and stuff, and be able to pass a drug test and take these high tech jobs. They're there. And once you get involved in it, they can start creating more high tech jobs.
Well, well, I'm not gonna get into no conversation about drugs because
I know you shouldn't, but I'm just letting you know that's one of the problems and stuff that we're running into. That is it. And that's one of the problems and stuff.
because
That's why
that right there is a
they had a
that's a
lot.
life choice.
Right, it is. And that's their choice. So when someone comes to me and tell me, man, them people, they won't let me have no jobs. Have you done anything to qualify yourself for these jobs? What have you done to qualify yourself for these jobs? Take your butt back to school. They got they got schools that you can go back to. Yes, Trump is putting the roadblock out there. We're getting rid of the Department of Education. You dumb son of a gun. You big dummy. You getting rid of, instead of trying to improve the Department of Education and making sure that your children and stuff are being trained for the jobs that are coming into this country, you're going to just get rid of it.
They're going to leave it to the states.
Most of the states don't have the money to keep the Department of Education, their educational system going. They don't have no money. Them big states do. They can pick it up. You got a bunch of states that they don't have the money to
This
educate
came
these
over
kids.
the feed. This came over the feed.
Yeah.
The replacement will be Weekend with Steele, Thompson, and Mendez of Joy.
The what now?
The replacement of Joy Reid will be Michael Steele, Thompson, and Mendez.
Oh, those are the ones who were on Saturday.
Weekend, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hooray for you, Mike.
Well, he says something every now and then, something decent.
Hooray for you, Mike.
But he's still a Republican.
Our stuff that we talk about here is money and informing folks about what's going on out there in the world that we're around. Politics touches everything in one form or another. We've been talking about that. We've said that politics touches everything, but it doesn't. It doesn't have to. It just touches it. But we have a responsibility in ourselves and stuff and everything to use what they have provided for us and everything, so we can move on. Welfare started a long time ago, and it was brought forth so people can be able to take care of themselves and stuff and everything, and be able to move on and be able to be self-sufficient after so many generations go by. And people have become used to this, and the Republicans are telling folks that we tired of y'all sitting around here begging for money and begging for food and begging for this and begging for that welfare. But Ted, the people who uses that stuff and who have abused it is them people, is they folks. They the ones who are abusing the stuff. You know, when you and I were growing up, they had farm aid back then. They pay the farmers to not plant a crop. Every year they give money. So the farmer go out there, he don't plant a crop, and they pay him. They send him a check. Now, Trump said, we ain't sending no more checks. But it's the people out there in their districts, in their state, who are the ones who have abused this system. But yet and still, they'll turn around there and say, well, yeah, it's them poor black folks. It's them poor Hispanics that's taking all the money. But it ain't. And now they're feeling the brunt of it. They done cut it off. Them folks out there beating their Congress people over the head, shouting at them. They're ready to throw bricks at them and stuff and can't help it because they done cut that money off.
Some people getting $200-300 a month on SNAP.
Yes, sir. They cut that
Some of them
money
is getting $800 and $900.
They cut that money off, kid. And them folks is mad out there. Where our money? It's not funny, people, but that's what's going on. they have sat down and successfully denigrated our folks and made them the picture of welfare. That's what it is. When you say welfare, the first thing they look at is over there in the ghetto. First thing they look at. But it ain't all over there. It's not all over there. The most of the we only what 12% of the population. 12%. So how in the heck if we taking up all the money in the welfare? There's a lot of black folk man who got jobs who are working. They working them government jobs that they getting rid of. They're working all over the place and everything. They got jobs and stuff. So that 12% had gone down to what? About 8 or 5%
What
who ain't
percentage
working.
of that 12% you
Yeah,
think
yeah, who ain't
gets
working
on
and stuff and
welfare?
everything. And if you add that in there, it ain't all. That's a very, 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 very small portion of the population, and a very, very, very small portion of the SNAP program and all the other aid that they've been giving out. So don't blame us people no more, okay? Peace. Stop making us the poster child for welfare, because that's not true. Okay, Ted, what else we got to talk about here? We got a few more minutes here. We got to talk about. You got anything to say? I got some. I
Go
got
ahead,
something.
go on with it.
Oh man, I got some stuff here, and it branches off into other stuff. So I'm gonna say this. When I tell our audience this, most people are gonna look at me and say, "Why in the hell are you saying that?" And I mentioned it a couple of other shows ago, and I keep mentioning it, that bouncing around on it. Now it's getting even worse. There are 16 nations out there right now who are not buying our treasury notes, our debt. They are not buying our debt anymore. And most people are going to say, well, what they got to do with us, because ain't nobody buying their treasury notes. If they're not buying your debt, then your money is going to become worthless eventually, because all you're doing is printing money to pay for that. How much, Ted? 30-some trillion dollars?
37 trillion.
37 trillion. Now y'all heard him now. $37 trillion in debt. And they're not buying our debt anymore. So we out borrowing other folks' money to run our country, to buy goods and our services. We buy their money, buy goods and services, and then we pay them back. Or they buy our treasury notes. Well, guess whose notes now that some of these people in these countries are buying now? They buying Chinese notes because they paying 9% interest. So they taking their money away from the US and they say, well, we're gonna go over there and buy China stuff now. If we ain't careful, them boys are gonna become the big dog on the block here. And we
I'm gonna
fought.
put it like this. I hear you talking, but I'm
Okay,
gonna tell you something. You don't understand how all of this transpired.
I
Maybe you
understand.
do. I don't know. Let me tell you, when you have over 50,000 manufacturing companies that move over into
It
other
has
countries for
nothing to
cheap
do
labor,
with that. That has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that.
and you put,
Now,
huh? Oh
didn't
yeah, it does.
didn't
You
didn't
have to
didn't
understand. This is how
didn't
it
we
works.
had
You
we
have to.
had we had two Democrats presidents who brought that debt down. Clinton brought that bitch down to zero. He brought it down and had a surplus. Bush came back in and ran that fucking debt right back up
Well,
again.
you're talking two different things, bro.
Yeah,
You're talking
that's
two
what I'm
different
saying.
things.
They brought the debt. You can
You're
bring
talking two
that debt
different things.
down.
You're talking about a budget
You can bring your
and the
debt
national
down.
debt.
You can, just like you can with you going out there in your household. How much debt you got in your household?
Yeah, it don't work like that, bro.
It does.
Let me explain it to you, okay? And as a third grader,
Whatever you telling me, you tell the folks out there because I don't believe it. Go ahead. This
well, you
is
might
fake
not
news
believe
to
it,
me.
but this is the
This is
facts.
fake
This is
news
the
to me.
facts.
Go ahead. But
This
go
is the
ahead.
facts.
Go
The
ahead and
fact
explain.
is
Go ahead and give
that
your side. Go ahead and give your
this
side.
is the
Go ahead.
fact.
Give your side. That's your side. Ain't the fact, it's the side. That's your
Okay,
side.
you
Go
gonna
ahead.
let me talk?
Go ahead.
Or
I'm
you gonna
listening.
keep on interrupting me?
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, stop interrupting me, bro, so I can explain it to you.
Go ahead. I'm
Okay,
waiting.
now, there you go again. Let me talk. Okay, now, here's the thing. When you say that Clinton brought the budget down, it wasn't a debt, it was the budget. He brought it down to almost zero. Bush came in and brought it to $1 million over the budget that was received. Revenue. I'm talking revenue here. Now, what was the revenue in Bill Clinton's time? About $3 trillion, a little bit more than $3 trillion. That's what the revenue was. Now, the revenue is almost $5 trillion. And we're going over it to $6 to $7 trillion, which is almost $2 trillion. So now, yes, spending is a problem, but at the same time, the revenue is not coming in. And the reason why is because the taxes are 14%.
You think I don't know that? You think I don't know
That's
that?
the problem.
And manufacturing is not the problem. It's not
Wait a minute.
bringing in the
Wait a minute.
revenue.
Let me
It
finish.
is not. That's what I'm saying. It's
Let
not.
me finish.
You just
Let
made
me
my
finish.
point for me.
Let
You
me
just made my point.
finish. Let me
You just made
finish.
my point. Yes,
Let
you
me.
got to bring
Are
in
you gonna
more
let me
money
finish?
than you're spending.
Are you gonna let me finish?
You bring in more money than
Are
you're
you
spending.
gonna let me finish, please?
I thought you were done. You just
No,
said
it
what you
was
had to
not
say.
done. Okay,
Oh, okay,
now
go
we get
ahead.
into the manufacturing part. Or
Okay, go
I
ahead.
should say, here we go. We ain't just talking manufacturing, we're talking about a whole lot of stuff that's going overseas. But the point is that when you have companies that are overseas and not providing jobs here in America, then what happens is that those jobs right now, we have a job right now, we're missing jobs. You're saying, oh well, you know, this is you can say that's an excuse, they can't pass the drug test. That's a lie. That might be true to certain cases, but that's a lie. I don't believe that.
Wait a minute,
I
hold
don't
it now,
believe that.
hold it now. Now you beat me over the head for a fact that I know about. You beat me over the head
Well,
for it.
just
I
because
know that
the
it is. If you
experience,
can't pass
I
the
just
drug test,
said
why would I
that is
hire
not
you?
everywhere, Ed.
But it's mostly
Everybody
where
is not using drugs, Ed.
it's mostly where your manufacturing is at, Ted. Most of your manufacturing are down there. They're manufacturing cars and stuff down there.
Ed,
They moved it
you
from the
are
north
so
and they moved it
naive,
down here.
bro. You are so naive. I'm
No, I
telling
ain't
you, bro,
naive.
that is not the issue.
It is the issue.
That is not the issue.
It
Drugs
is
is
the
not the
issue.
issue.
Textile ain't coming back to this country, Ted.
I'm not
Manufacturing
arguing
ain't
that
coming
fact.
back. So why
Ed,
are you hyping
Ed,
about it?
Ed,
It ain't
Ed.
coming back.
I'm not discussing that point. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you only make 3% of apparel here in this country, those are jobs lost.
They ain't coming back. So why are you
That's not the
discussing it?
issue.
It
What I'm
is the
trying to
issue.
tell you, the reason why
You still
when
talking
you
about
not
manufacturing and
Ed,
it ain't coming back.
Ed, excuse me. Do you know what our GDP is?
It doesn't matter what your
Yes, it
GDP
does.
is,
Yes, it
Ted.
does.
It does not. It
Ed,
does not. If your job, if these people who have control the economy have sent these jobs overseas, and that's where they're gonna keep these jobs at, they ain't coming back. And we got to realize that. If you don't realize that and make that
there you
change and stuff,
go.
understand
You don't know what you're
manufacturing is
talking about.
not coming back.
You don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yes, I do. If it ain't,
No,
is it here? Is manufacturing here? Do we have manufacturing here? Question. Do we have manufacturing here?
no. The question is, if
Do we
you
have manufacturing here in this country right now? Where are the textile jobs at? They over there in China or wherever. Where are the other
Ed,
jobs at? They over there. So they're
Ed,
not here.
Ed, what we need is more revenue.
I
The
understand that about the
companies,
revenue.
the companies left, and so therefore the revenue is not coming in from the IRS because these people are not paying their taxes, their fair taxes, and therefore the revenue is not coming in. That's the reason why we're going in the hole. Yes,
But
there is
so it has
overspending.
nothing to
There
do
might be
then with
overspending, but there's
manufacturing.
well,
It
I
has
mean, if you
nothing
don't
to do
understand
with
that, that's
manufacturing
I
then.
can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. I'm not going to argue with you, but what
I'm
I'm
not
trying to tell
arguing
you is that
either.
this country should be bringing in at least $10 trillion in revenue, almost $10 trillion in revenue. That's what we should be bringing in, at least 8 trillion
Okay,
in taxes.
I can agree with that. We need to bring that in. But I'm just saying to you, the manufacturing is not here, so we got to find another way to bring in the revenue.
And plus, we don't have the population.
Oh,
That's another problem.
well, why is why is the president deporting all these people? He's
To
sending the people away.
satisfy his political base.
He's sending the people away. He's sending the
He
folks
just
away.
he just satisfying his political base, bro. That's all he
So
doing.
we need it. So what you're telling me that we don't need to be deporting these people. We need to be keeping them and
No, what they
importing
should
more.
have been having is a fair immigration system to bring in other people besides Latinos illegally or undocumented, and they should have been bringing in other people that want to come here legally. But they get all of this red tape to get these people in here. They need to vet them and make them Americans so that they can work.
And
Because our nation
isn't that what
ain't.
Elon wants to do? Bring in more of his folks from India
We
and
ain't talking about his folks. We ain't talking
yeah.
about his folks. What we
Well, you
talking
said we
about?
need to bring in qualified people, so
No,
that's
I
where
didn't
they
say
come from.
qualified people. I didn't say qualified people. I said people that want to come here.
Well, they want to come here. They
I said
qualified and they
legally.
want to come.
Legally.
Well, they can come in. They got their H-1B visas, and
I ain't
then they
talking.
coming
No, no,
in,
no, 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 no,
and
no,
that's
no.
where he want to
Ed,
come
Ed,
in.
Ed,
I have
Ed,
to agree with
Ed,
it. Bring them
Ed,
people who qualified in here.
Ed, you repeating yourself, bro. Let me tell you something. The point is that when you have a legitimate documents that come in, these people come in and they come in as Americans and send them through. Right now, we only have 1 million people to come here, and that we've been doing that for 50 years. 1 million people to come here legally.
Okay,
We need to up that
and
to 2 million,
and
probably 3
they
million.
want to come. They're waiting. They're waiting to
I
come.
said legally.
Well, they're waiting to come legally.
Well,
They're
that's what
waiting
I'm
to
saying.
come.
We need to
and
have
that's what
adequate.
that's what Elon and his folks up there
I don't
in
know. I don't,
Silicon Valley want to do.
who?
They want to bring in they folks and stuff from
We ain't talking about they
India
folks,
and
Ed.
every
We're
place
not
else
talking about they
and bring
folks.
them into
We
this
talking
country.
about we talking about people that want to come through the system
That's what they want to do. They want to come through the
No,
system, Ted.
people that I'm talking about other people besides his folks, as you call them. I'm talking about.
What other folks are qualified to come here?
What do you mean qualified? Anybody that's a human is qualified to come to this country.
Yeah, but you said that they were the people that came here illegally, and we need to bring them in.
What? What?
You are confusing us, Ted. You are
I'm not
confusing us.
confusing anybody.
Yeah,
I think people know what I'm talking about.
I'm confused now.
What
You
I'm
said they got to
saying
come in here
is
legally,
there are
and there's
people.
a list of folks who want to come in here legally. They are. They're ready, willing, and able to come in here legally. They ready. They standing outside the gate, ready to come in here legally.
And they should let them in, and they should go through the system.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying. They want to
They
bring
need
them
to
in.
open up the system and let these people come in to be Americans.
Well,
that means
they're
they
not
gotta
letting
know
them in.
everything
They're
about
trying to
what
come,
America's
but they're
about.
telling them no.
What?
They're trying to come in here
No, they need
legally,
to
and they're
up- they
saying
need
no.
to up- Ed, like I just told you, the immigration people only allow 1 million people a year. That's it.
Well, then
It's
you need
not
to tell them.
enough.
Then tell the president that we need to bring in 2 million people. he
We
ain't
probably
bringing
need
them.
to bring in
He
3
ain't.
million
He
people.
ain't bringing them in. He said you gonna throw them out, all of them.
You know, they tell these people, you know, it's a game because there's so many people making money off of these undocumented people. You got to pay
They are.
$10,000. I'll try to get you in, and all that kind of craziness. What they need to do is
They are.
up the ante.
And they are doing that, and they got a economy and stuff of been ripping off these illegal immigrants. Yes, they do. They ripping them off, taking everything they got. They send money back to their home and stuff. They send $150 back home. They charge them $25, ripping them off.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Shoot, don't tell me they don't. I'm looking at these
I
folks.
used to do it, Ed. I
these
used to
places
do
over
it
here and stuff,
every day.
and
Ed,
these folks are trying to send money
Ed,
back to their people
Ed,
and charge them all kind of money to do it.
no, Ed. If
What?
they have a bank account, which they are allowed to have a bank
They
account,
can't have a bank account, Ted. They're illegal.
if they have a bank account,
They're
it's
illegal.
free.
They don't have a bank
It's
account.
free.
They're illegal.
Excuse me, I said that they're allowed to have a bank account.
But they're illegal. They won't give a bank account.
They do. They do open up for people as long as they have the right documents.
What? If you're illegal, you ain't got the right documents, Ted. Because you're here illegally. You didn't get the right documents. You're here illegally. You didn't get the right documents. If you're coming over here illegally, you ain't
If they
got the
have,
right documents.
if they have gotten an EIN number and it's a legal document, because we used to have to check them to make sure that they was legal, then they would be able to.
They have another TI. It's a TIN number for those.
If they have
EIN
those
is for
numbers,
American
then
citizens.
they are legal to open up an account.
But they can't get a TIN if they're illegal, Ted.
How do they get a TN number?
They have to show them a social security number or that they're here legally. And they can't show.
How do they get here? What kind of way are
They
they?
can't show.
Are
They
they
can't show
American
they
citizens?
can't show the Internal
Let me
Revenue
ask you a
Service
question.
that they're
Are they
here
American
legally.
citizens?
Who?
Are they American citizens?
No, they're illegal.
All right then. Well, what do they have to get?
You
them
said
to
they
get a
can give. They
TN
don't
number?
have nothing. They don't
I asked
have
you,
a way.
what did they do to get a TN number?
You have to show the IRS that you are here legally, and then they'll give you a TIN
How are
number.
they here legally, Ed? That's what I'm asking you.
I said they have to show the IRS that they're here legally. They are here illegally. So they can't get, if they're illegal, they can't get a TIN number.
I'm trying to tell you right now, if they are not American, that means they don't get a Social Security card. But
I
they are
know
able
that.
to get a TN
But they will
number.
give them a TIN number, Ted, if they are here legally.
But are they a citizen?
No, they're not citizens.
All right then, that's what I'm talking about.
But they do give people TIN numbers, Ted,
That's
if they
what
are
I'm talking
here,
about.
if they're here legal.
They're not American citizens.
It doesn't matter. They will give them a TIN number.
That's all I'm saying, Ed. What I'm trying to tell you is, is that these people are working, and they're working on a TIN number, and they're paying taxes, and then still they're not Americans. They haven't
and
went through the system.
they are here legally to get the
Ed,
TIN
that's
number,
not you,
Ted.
you don't have to keep repeating yourself. What I'm trying to tell you is that they need to be American citizens.
Ted, but you are not you are listening, or you just got to get your point across here and everything, and it doesn't mean anything
No.
because we talking about
You know what I'm
illegal
saying.
people. We are talking about illegal
Oh
immigrants
my
who are
goodness,
in this
man. This is
country who cross that border illegally. They
Google.
cannot get a TIN number if they cross the border illegally, and they can't get a checking account legally. They can't. They will not give them a checking account or anything, a bank account, anything, if they're here illegally. They won't do it. Okay. Final word, sir.
Well, my thing is this. I mean, I'm not immigration and all that stuff. I'm not no big opponent for it, but like I said, if you know the numbers of American people, we are a zero population. That's what we are. I'm talking about the Americans who are here legally, as Ed said. We are a zero population. Matter of fact, we're probably 10%, probably below population, because the Americans are not having babies no more. Now the thing is that and then you have over 1 million people die every year. So our population growth is slowing down due to not allowing enough people to come in here, or that's the reason why they got rid of. That's the reason why they got rid of Roe versus Wade, because these white women wasn't having enough babies. They was getting rid of them. It wasn't about black people; it was about white women.
So you're gonna force white women to have babies?
That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, bro. That's what they're doing.
So this whole thing is about white women having babies.
To grow their population. To grow their population. They ain't worried about black population or Latino population.
I'm gonna have to tell all these black women and shit out here that the Roe versus Wade ain't about you, girlfriend. It's about the white women.
It's not. It's not. It's not about them. It's about these white women having more babies.
Having more babies.
Some of these white women not even having. Ed, 2 months ago, I just did a thing on telling you that there are over 40%, 45% of women that don't have children.
That's their choice.
That's right, the population, bro.
Well,
They're not having babies.
So Roe versus Wade is forcing the women to have babies if they don't want to have a baby.
Well, you might think it's.
I'm asking the question.
Did you see my report? Did you look at my thing that I sent you
about the
7 mountains?
The not for profit folks?
The 7 mountains.
No, I ain't see that.
Ed, it ain't but 5 minutes, man. I sent you that last night.
Nah, it did. I told you, man. I got when
take you but 5 minutes to listen to that.
I told you, man. I said when I end my telecast, my work begins, man. I'll be busy as all get out, man, until late. Now, when we shut down here, whatever time we shut
right
down,
on your phone.
It's 5 o'clock.
I can't. You want me to play that right now? I'll play it right now. I ain't gonna play it right now.
I'm letting you know, Ted, when I get off the phone, man, and then people start calling me, and I get text messages. I get all the other stuff. I got to answer.
I'm telling you,
sometimes
it's not even 5 minutes. It's like 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes.
I'm gonna see. Because I'm telling you, as soon as I get off, man, I got to work on the
It ain't but
telecast and
3
get it
minutes. I got
uploaded.
this on your
Because
phone,
see,
on your
I
text.
try to do you a favor and get the telecast up so you can see it and critique it and stuff and everything as quickly as possible before it loses its flavor.
I just saw our last one. I saw our last one, man. I almost broke out in tears.
Oh, you did what?
I was crying what I was saying. I said, "Oh man, this is sad."
Oh, and people, Ted and I are thinking about having a spiritual show. You know,
Oh,
something that we the soul of America. We're gonna call it the soul of America. The soul of
Raymond,
America. We're gonna
Pastor
do
Raymond
just
will
like that.
tear it up, bro.
Just like that video you telling me to look at and everything. We're gonna discuss that on that Soul of America show. All the other stuff is going on because this thing that you told me about Trump getting ready to put all these spiritual folks in head of these departments and stuff and everything. I didn't know anything about that. I had heard nothing about that.
Look it up, bro. Look it up.
I didn't know anything about that until you brought it up. So we're gonna talk about that in our spiritual show. We're gonna have one spiritual show a week.
We
The
need to
soul
have
of
an
America.
intellectual. We need somebody. This man has been in ministry for over 30-something years.
Longer than that.
He's smart. He knows his stuff.
Longer than that. He's been more than 30-something years. He was a pastor of a church in New Jersey for almost 30 years. And he's still out there pastoring. So anyway,
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't. I'm gonna tell him. I said we're gonna call this the Soul of America show.
That's a good title.
Yeah,
That's a good title.
man. As soon as I thought about that, I said, "Man, this is gonna be deep. It's going to be deep. I'm telling you, it's gonna be deep."
Maybe I can start opening up my Bible again.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna have. Matter of fact, we ought to just have it on Sunday. Our Sunday show will be the Soul of America.
Yeah, we need to have it on Sundays.
Yeah, let's have it on Sunday, the Soul of America, because I need to talk about Joel Osteen and how he done.
Ooh, you're going into it.
Yeah, we want to talk about Joel and how he done transformed himself, and we want to talk about the pastor, the minister, and stuff and everything who stood there in front of Trump and the old vice president and preached the gospel to them about people and stuff and their compassion that they ought to have with them and everything. So, and what they're doing to these folks, because I was talking to our guy who's going to be on here and everything, and there's a pastor in Virginia and stuff now. They done threatened him. A pastor.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He got a lot of stuff to say about what the heck going on about religion and stuff out here and what's happening. He said he just came up there and stuff, and the pastor said he had to stop, get out the pulpit. He opened his mouth and said something and everything, and some of his white audiences heard him and everything, and they started calling him up. Hey, it's getting deep out there, man.
Well, listen to that 3 minutes, and then you'll get it, bro.
Oh yeah. So we see y'all people. Don't forget that this will be starting sometime next month, March. Talk to you later. Bye.